Hey guys, Eric Wielander here, and today we're going to talk about 6 tips that you're probably not remembering when you take photos with your iPhone, and these are going to really help you get a lot better pictures on the go. So the first tip, if you learn nothing else, is to make sure that you get the right exposure. Light is everything in photography, and the iPhone makes this super easy. First of all, it's really good at figuring out automatically how much exposure to give for any photo, but it just doesn't know nearly as much as you do. And so you'll often need to just tap on the area of the photo where you want it to expose. And then from there, all you need to do is drag your finger up or down to adjust the exposure, whether you want to make it brighter or darker. There's no need to know any of the other detailed settings about a camera and how it works. It's very simple. You just tap where you should expose and drag the slider up or down. Tip number 2 is to take selfies or pictures of people using the live photo feature. So that's that little circular bunch of rings at the top of your camera. You just tap that and you'll either get a slash through it to mean that it's turned off, it'll be kind of grayed out, or it'll turn yellow, meaning that it's turned on. And so you want that turned on when you're taking pictures of people. Why is this? With a live photo, it's taking the picture for a little bit longer of a time, and so then you can go in and select the frame where everybody's smiling and looking their best. So tip number 3 is to turn on the rule of thirds grid. Apple just calls this a grid in the settings. You have to go to the settings app, not the camera app, and go to camera and then turn on not rule of thirds, turn on the grid. And then anytime you take a picture, you'll see these very thin lines in the camera. They're not gonna show up in your photo, but they'll just be there to guide you on how to frame your picture. Just like exposure makes a huge difference, composition is another fundamental thing of photography. Of what do you put in what part of the frame, and how does that sort of add up to show a bigger picture? So turn this grid on and actually use it. Another feature that people don't use nearly enough is the burst feature. People think that it's just for, say, fast action sports or other things that are moving, but kind of like the concept of live photos, using the burst feature for just photographing, say, pets or children, or maybe you want to get just the right shot of something moving, and maybe it's not even going that fast. It's easy to just try and time it and take the picture, but bursts have gotten so good on the iPhone. You can just simply hold down the shutter button, whatever way you're triggering the shutter, just hold it down and it'll start taking a burst, and then you can go into the Photos app later, and it makes it really easy not only to pick your key photo, which you've always been able to do, but you can also choose, say, a variety of those pictures and make them all separate photos. So you can get a few different pictures of whatever it is you're trying to get right there from that burst. Another one that's a really basic feature, but I don't think a lot of people know about because I don't think Apple really publicizes this too much, is that the volume up button on your phone also works as a shutter button. This can be so nice because personally I think it's easier to hold the camera and press down on the shutter button, and you're not going to get nearly as much shake or movement of the camera as if you're trying to tap on the screen with one of your fingers in some way or another. So using the volume up button is great, and taking this tip to the next level, that even works with, say, the headphone remote that comes with your iPhone. You can attach that to the lightning port and then hold the volume up button on the headphone, and it will trigger the camera when the camera app is open. And that is super cool, and a way to get a fancy photographer technique called a cable release, where you have this thing hooked up to your camera with a cable and you press a button to trigger the camera. The iPhone has that built in for free with the headphones that come in the box, which is really cool. The last one is really just a PSA, and that is that friends do not let friends zoom by pinching with their iPhone camera. It does not make your photos better. Yes, you can maybe get a little bit better composition by zooming in. Yes, you can see things closer, but it's just as easy to do that in post, just cropping the picture later. You never know, maybe you're gonna want the whole image or something that you're not gonna see in the moment. So don't zoom, because all it's doing is it's cropping the picture for you. The only exception to this is if you have one of the iPhones that has 2 camera lenses on it, then you can tap that little 1x, 2x button on the screen, and that will jump between the 2 different lenses. So that's cool because that's actually changing the optics, and so you're getting a closer image because of how light works, not because of cropping the photo. But otherwise, don't ever zoom on an iPhone camera. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. And don't forget to share this video with friends and family who would love to learn more about taking better photos with their iPhone. And I want to do more of these videos where we talk about ways to take pictures and work with pictures on iPhone. So more content like this coming. Subscribe if you want to see that, as well as the other stuff I have on this channel, like tech reviews and dev vlogs of my app development. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And subscribe if you like.